Right, so I just finished Peacemaker. It's a show that, if you watched my review of the Suicide Squad movie last year, you'll know that I wasn't necessarily excited at the idea of a Peacemaker show. I was under the impression of, well, I'm not looking forward to watching a show where the protagonist is an asshole. The protagonist is the guy who killed Rick Flag. But after watching Peacemaker, I have to say that this show is amazing. This show is great. If you want more from that world, if you enjoyed the character of Peacemaker in Suicide Squad, this is more of that, but a bit more. But obviously it's a show, so they go into his character a lot more, and you get to really figure out and deal with and see why he did the things he did, and you get to see where his head's at afterwards. It's a really good show. It's violent. It's very violent. It's basically if James Gunn was able to make his Suicide Squad into a series. It's that same tone. It's that same, it's primarily comedic, but it does have some very like tender, some very, heartfelt moments, and you do kind of learn to really care about a character you thought was an asshole at the end of Suicide Squad, and by the end of this, you care about Peacemaker, you care about John Cena's character, you care about every character, to be honest. The sidekick, Vigilante, I think he's great. I really like that character. It's a really good show. It's a really good show. I can't really say too much more about it without harping on. It's short. It's 8 episodes, so it's digestible. You can watch it all on Sky Hub if you're living in the UK. People in America have already seen it because HBO Max. But yeah, if you enjoyed the Suicide Squad, and you want to watch something that's like that, that's a sequel to that also has a really cool Easter egg moment at the end, then yeah, this is the perfect show. I don't want to go into the story of the show too much, because that's not really the point. The point isn't the story of the show. The story is just a reason to see these characters again, and a reason for these characters to interact with each other, and it's just a reason to see more John Cena, and to give John Cena, to give Peacemaker more of a character. It's just an excuse to do more stuff, do more Suicide Squad stuff, and to do more superhero stuff that isn't afraid to have an R rating, isn't afraid to be a bit silly, to be a bit wacky. And I think the actual opening to the show, the opening intro is exactly that. It's exactly what you will be expecting from the show. It's just Peacemaker and all of the characters from the show just dancing to a glam rock hit. So I think this show is just genius, and it's perfect, and it's everything that a superhero TV show should be. It shouldn't have to take itself too seriously. It shouldn't, it should have a budget, obviously. Like some of the CG things in this show, the final episode is amazing, and it's pretty gruesome and gory as well. But everything in this show works well. It explains more about the DC universe as a whole. It kind of shines a light on you know, the fact that this is a living, breathing universe. It's not just, you know, its own thing. And I feel like James Gunn has kind of got that more than any other any other director for a DC movie. It's like, yeah, this is a world, and you know, it's a universe, and we have this massive cast of superheroes and supervillains. Use them, reference them, you know. We have this massive, you know, universe, and I'm using the D of the D list, you know. This is a show about Peacemaker, you know, a character that no one's ever heard of before last year, a character that I'd never heard of before last year. Heck, most of the characters in James Gunn's Suicide Squad I'd never heard of before. Bloodsport, get out of here. Ratcatcher 2, they put a character in, and they made the main character of a movie a sequel. You know, but it worked, and this works as well. And I feel like DC needs to realise that not everyone, you know, that people don't want to see another Batman thing. People don't want to see Superman every year. People don't want to see, like, the big two characters. People especially don't want to see any more Wonder Woman after that latest Wonder Woman movie. But, you know, you have a universe to pull from. You know, you don't have to make 3 million Batman movies. You don't have to make so much Superman stuff. You know, those aren't your only two characters. Batman isn't your only character. You know, you can afford to make things about your lesser known characters, and they might get more of a response because it's not, you know, because people probably won't know what it is, and they'll go and watch it out of curiosity. That's what I hope people will do with Peacemaker, because it's really worth giving it a shot. If you, hopefully the name of John Cena can get you interested and get you watching the show in its own right. But if not, if, you know, just seeing John Cena in a thing isn't enough to get you interested, just know that it's a really quality show, and more people should be watching this. And in my opinion, it's the best show DC has put out in a while. It's the best, you know, it's the best show like this that I've seen in a while. It's certainly the best superhero show I've seen in a while. You know, and the only thing I can compare this to is, like, the feeling I had watching this was the same feeling I had watching something like Lucifer or something like Grimm, you know, where it's not really about the story or what the characters are doing. It's about the characters and how they interact with each other. It's about, you know, the wacky antics of these characters and seeing what Peacemaker will come out with next, what Vigilante will come out with next. That's where this show shines, and it's where, you know, the writing of this show really is better than something like, say, Batwoman or The Flash or Arrow, you know, or Arrow later seasons, or like Supergirl or something, you know, especially because it's a weird parallel, you know, watching this and watching Batwoman at the same time, how kind of generic and kind of safe Batwoman is compared to this. And especially since Batwoman is that villain of the week, you know, kind of story, and this basically plays out like an 8-hour movie. I freaking love when shows go for that 8-hour long movie, or that, like, the whole story, the whole season is like that story, and you kind of get that. But the thing with CW shows, what I have kind of come out of it, is that you don't really need 24 episodes or 22 episodes to, like, tell a story, and you don't need to fill that with, you know, because, like, usually 18 of those episodes, it's usually the first 2 episodes of a season and the last 2 episodes of a season that are really important, and the rest of them are just that villain of the week kind of thing, and then the last 2 episodes are fighting the villain of that season that's been, like, in the background. But, you know, once Lucifer made that transition over to Netflix, it became way more like condensed and way more focused in what it wanted to do and what it wanted to be about, which was the characters. And this show does that as well, and that's something that other CW, other DC shows have kind of missed, and it's something that I think Disney Plus is doing really well with their shows by having them be even shorter. I feel like maybe then you're not getting as much development and they feel a little bit rushed, but you are still getting that banter and that back and forth, and you're still getting that very character focused narrative where it's not really about the conflict, and it's not really about, you know, really what's going on in the show. It's about the characters and seeing their dynamics, and, you know, the villains, and the conflict is just to give them something to do, and for it to still be a superhero show and not, you know, an introspective look at these characters. But yeah, I really like Peacemaker. Let me know in the comments below what you thought Peacemaker, and what you think of John Cena as an actor. He's been in a lot of movies now, some of them good, some of them bad, some of them Fast and Furious 9, and let me know what you thought of him in this, and let me know what you thought of the show in general, and let me know what you think of superhero shows in general. If you think that my opinion's right, where like the shorter shows are usually way more impactful, and I feel like the sweet spot was how Netflix did it, and obviously those shows are now on Disney Plus, so watch them. I read a heartbreaking article that, like, Charlie Cox, when he went to see No Way Home, the screening that he went to, no one recognised him. When he shows up in the movie, no one recognised him. That's a crime, because, and yes, that is a pun because he's a lawyer, but it's an absolute crime that he didn't get noticed, or he didn't get recognised, because Daredevil is the best thing Marvel's ever put out, and no one recognised him, and so that means that not enough people have watched Daredevil. So now that it's on Disney Plus, watch it. Watch Peacemaker as well, because it's 8 episodes, so you're not missing that much time. It's not going to take you that long if you want to binge it, but just watch this show. Go back and watch The Suicide Squad, not the Will Smith one, but the Idris Elba one. It's so good, and this is more of that. So if you like that, you'll like this. Unfortunately, my only criticism is no King Shark. Steve Agee is in the show for quite a lot of it, but there's no King Shark, which, you know, put King Shark in season 2. Give King Shark his own HBO Max series. There you go. Put King Shark in Aquaman 2. You know, put King Shark into everything. Put him in everything. Just put him in everything. You know, Ezra Miller's in trouble. Just replace the Flash with King Shark. Make a King Shark multiverse movie. King Shark into the multiverse of madness. Do it. see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment below, let me know what you thought of Peacemaker. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys on my Twitch channel. Peace.